Welcome back to the Bender Boys podcast, episode 2.
We're really doing it.
This is not filmed the same day. All right. I forgot how we did this before, but I think that it's going. Do we need to change the compressor?
No, that's on. That's good.
Okay.
I think we're
Everything's
Gucci.
good?
Yeah. Can I say Gucci?
Gucci.
Copyright.
Is it boosted? Did we change anything else last time? Because it's
No.
not getting as loud, I feel like.
No, I feel like it is. Because, see, that's like your little level on the top. Mine's on the bottom.
Okay.
Boosted.
All right. So,
Mattress.
where are we going with this? Let's pick back up.
Oh.
What do we say? We were gonna start with how we got into golf.
I guess so. Yeah.
Or we
I
could
feel
start
like
with.
that's
Should
what
we
the-
start with Bender Boy's story,
That's what
or
the people deserve, you know.
the
is to-
people deserve it?
you know, I know everyone is so interested into
Yeah.
everything about our lives.
Not me with the Miller Lite and Happy Dad double fisting for the podcast.
I love when you, like, pull away from the mic and it just completely stops picking you up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did
but
it not
I
in
have
here?
it in my ear and you're like, and then you come back.
I'll make sure to stay real close to the
Yeah,
mic.
yeah,
How's that
please.
sound in the ear?
The more it smells like Miller Lite, the better. Yeah.
Yeah,
That used
the
to be-
microphone.
Back when I used to do gigs and stuff, there was a guy I gigged with that like would not let anyone use the foam cover on his mic every time, like the wind guard.
Never.
He never he would literally if someone had to borrow it, he would just take it off and you just have the metal.
Oh, because
'Cause
he
it's
was
like-
he
'cause
was weird
people-
about it. Because people put their mouth
Well,
on
it's
it.
just gross. Like it's like
Yeah. So
it's-
do we
it's-
need to put a sticker?
like
on
you would
mine?
never let someone get in your face and breathe on you this close.
Do we need to put a sticker on mine, or you don't care if like we kind
I mean,
of kiss via the microphone?
pause.
So, I guess we can jump into how we got into golf, or should we do the story of Bender Boys first?
Let's do Bender Boys first. That's
All
a little bit easier, and it's a lot more led by you, so I just get to sit back and drink. Which
Yeah,
is great.
There we go. So, yeah, let's start with the Bender Boys story. Basically, it started back in probably June or July of 2022. I started watching Bob Does Sports and Good and Busta Jack, all those guys that are big on YouTube, and I called a couple of my buddies and I called you and I was like, I feel like we could
I love that I'm excluded from buddies. You know, we called a couple of my buddies, and then you.
You're my buddy too,
Real-
buddy.
There we go. Thank you. That's
So I reached out and I was like, I feel like we could bring something similar to the marketplace.
oh,
and-
big words.
Yeah, big words.
On
business-
the table, we could put something
business
on the table that
words.
was, you know.
But
similar
basically my
product.
idea was like Bob Does Sports kind of goes about things in the comedic aspect. Busta Jack is more so the good golf. And then Good at the time was more directed towards the younger crowd, I feel like. And so I felt like we could fit the Busta Jack genre and Bob Does Sports together and bring like the comedic value and good golf together. And yeah, so I just one day I came up with the name. Shout out to Ben. Has nothing to do with Bender Boys, but that's something we called ourselves back in college.
Right.
Whenever we would go on a little weekend bender, we would call ourselves the Bender Boys. And so that is kind of where the name came from. And then I had the idea that we switch over the PGA logo to a guy shotgunning a beer. And so that's kind of where the logo came from.
What about the motto? That's
the
what we wanna hear.
motto-
Yeah.
The motto I just thought of, I was trying to think of, a couple things that I like to do, and gym, tan, beer, and golf. Those were the 4 tenets of my lifestyle.
The ancestral tenants.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where it came from. It got created on a whim. I mean, I basically came up with the idea for the logo, for the motto, for everything, basically in about 20 minutes. And so it just became, or after that, it was just basically just let's start posting videos and see if this gets any traction. And if it does, then we'll keep running with it. And if it doesn't, then we'll chalk it up to a bad idea.
Well, it's stuff that like, you know, we wouldn't be spending, you know, thousands on clubhead covers, but we would be doing pretty much all of this stuff anyway. So it was one of those things. I felt like, you know, when we were talking about it, it was like, you know, we're going to be on the golf course, we're going to be messing around, we're going to be, you know, doing whatever. So
Yeah,
I think that happen.
I think the most simple form of the idea was let's find a way that we can continue to play golf, but have a way that golf can be free eventually, and we can have fun doing it by posting videos if people enjoy our content. And
reach more people and like see, like, because there's obviously a lot of people, you know, that like enjoy golf like we do and enjoy it in the way that we do, where it's like, you know, having a drink, having a speaker out there playing music, like, you know, the younger people getting into golf, which is what like good, but that's what all of them are like. Finally, like showing people that like that like
growing the game.
Yeah, that like people, you know, who are younger and like, you know, like in their 20s and stuff, like we golf for, you know, it's just something fun to do outside. And, like,
weekend warriors is what they call it.
Yeah.
We have no shot of making it on the tour.
Yes.
Really, I remember whenever I first started posting videos. This is a little rabbit trail, but I remember when I first started posting videos, some guy commented on my post about my driver swing and said, you know, oh, you're coming way over the top or something like that. And I don't think I could hit my driver for like 4 months. I mean, you know, like I just started being able to hit my driver again.
Yeah.
And we started this back in July of 2022, and it's almost or middle of February of 2023. So, yeah, don't let the haters get in your head.
Yeah,
everyone.
I think it's been interesting because like, and also like anything, you know, we see online is like nothing we haven't told ourselves 100 times. You know, like you can watch all the golf you want, you can, you know about golf, but like actually doing it, you know, like even Tiger Woods has a swing coach, even Roy McIlroy has a swing coach. Like those guys aren't professional golfers, but they know, you know. So it's like anyone can sit back and watch a video of someone hitting a golf ball and say, "Oh, you're doing this, you're doing that." It's like, yeah, I know. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Like, you think I want to come out the end or in the, you know, like you think I want to do that? You think I'm trying to do like a fade here and I'm doing too much? Like, no, I'm just trying to hit the ball like.
Yeah, you think I'm
play,
trying to
you know?
top my drive 10 yards and not make it past the ladies' tees? Like, it wasn't. That's not what I pictured in my head when I walked up to the tee box.
Wasn't
it's just
exactly
what happened.
my shot picture, you know, when I was behind the ball trying to be, you know, shot routine there.
But yeah, so that's kind of where the idea came from, the logo came from, the motto. And I was just like, why not post, you know? And we got some traction on some videos early, and after that I started posting every day, and since then it's, you know, grown to almost 12,000 followers and on TikTok and almost 800,000 likes, which I think that's, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I get discouraged a little bit every once in a while just about the whole thing, but, you know, the lack of growth here and there. But in the grand scheme of things, I feel like that's pretty good for starting in July to almost be at 12,000 followers.
Yeah, and, like, you know, the fact that, like, eventually we'll get to where we can, you know, pour more money in, get nicer stuff, have a little podcast studio that, you know, like that kind of thing. Like that all comes.
You mean you don't like filming on my couch?
You don't like this podcast studio? Oh.
Pay a lot of money for this.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I want the Pat McAfee setup where, you know, we're like standing up or like yelling at the microphone. I'm wearing like a tank for some reason. You know, like I want that kind of thing. That's what we need.
We should just start filming in the gym.
Yeah.
Just go set up at
Planet Fitness.
At Planet Fitness.
I'd pay my $20 a month, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You
Set
up in the 360 room.
Oh no, the girls section, as my girlfriend calls it. She's like, "Oh, we're going to the ladies part." I'm like, "God, like they just the cables are taken on the other side. I just gotta go over here." But anyway,
yeah. So that's kind of where it came from.
And it really took, like, that was something too when you first pitched it to me, like, you know, obviously Gym Team for Your Golf, blah blah. I was like, okay, like, that's a lot of like different content, blah blah. But it really is like a 98% golf page.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be the niche.
It's just what we do. 98%. Like, you know, those aren't in, you know, Gym Tan Beer Golf is not like in the order of which we do things. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely probably like golf.
I don't know. I think gym's probably up there.
Gym's up there, but I think time spent on the golf course every week is greater than time spent in the gym. Because, shoot, you play one round of golf for 4 hours. That's more than I spend in the gym every week.
Yeah, but how many rounds of golf do we play a week?
You play at least probably 2 or 3, and I play probably 1 or 2 a week.
And if we go to the gym 5 times, I guess that's 1 round of golf.
Yeah, so it's about, so whatever, you know.
But anyways.
And then beer, you know, beer and golf go hand in hand, so those go together. And
Yeah.
tan can kind of be you know, we're in there.
Yeah.
We're in there. We're in there. Because that's what it was
Big
interesting to
tanners.
me. Yeah, big tan guys. Yeah.
Shout out to Australian Gold.
Oh no. Are
They
we
sponsors.
Australian Gold or Sunbum people? Like who would we?
Australian Gold for the instant bronzer spray gel
True.
sunscreen.
For when you're paler, like in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And then Sunbum for later.
No,
Yeah.
during it.
What do you mean during? You're putting on it right now.
Yeah, I'll put some on right now.
It's like 6 o'clock at night.
It smells good, dude.
I love that the sniffs are so close to the mic that we just got into the microphone. Oh my
It's
lord.
like Bo's
yeah,
out here
literally.
sniffing.
So, yeah, I think golf really like took over as the main thing. Which, like, I guess
I think that was
segues
the
us-
idea at the beginning, but I think Gym Tan beer were the other parts.
Which during the summer will take a precedence, like all the
Yeah.
pool days. Like,
And to be honest, like I posted a couple gym videos, but because of the initial traction with the golf videos, I think that it just didn't get any views.
it's
Really,
not what the people want.
yeah, that's not what the people want.
They
No one
don't
wants
wanna
to. No one wants to see me.
Struggling to lift dumbbells above our
Yeah.
heads. Yeah. But yeah, I think like the golf, which I guess like segues us into like why golf, that kind of thing. I guess like you're newish into golf.
Yeah.
I am like newly, what's the word? Not reinvigorated, but like
Got back into it,
Yeah, I
yeah.
recently got back into it because I was like golfer in high school. That's all I did, and I mainly did it because my mom said I had to play a sport, and I was like, well, golf sounds fun. My grandfather was a huge golfer, like had a condo down near like TPC Sawgrass, was a member out there at Ponte Vedra. So he was huge.
Shout out to the
like-
players.
Yeah. A couple weeks, right? 3
Yeah.
weeks, 4 weeks, yeah.
By
So
the
like,
time this is edited, it might be after.
yeah, literally. By the time we figure out how all this software works, yeah, and it's funny because like I like he had passed away before I like got big into golf, especially when I was in like middle school, and I think 8th grade or 9th grade was when I think 9th grade was when I actually started golfing.
Yeah.
And I golfed in high school, and we went to high school there, so we went to small high school. So I was of course varsity all 4 years because there was only like 10 of us that golfed, like at any given time in high school. Played in college. I like didn't play that much. I would play like a couple times a year, like when I came back.
You
for
were
the
too busy
summers
in
and stuff.
being a frat guy.
Yeah, being a frat god. And then came back, played a little bit when I was like working, but then I went to PA school and did not play at all during that. And then graduated and had basically like 4 months of unemployment,
Yeah.
and that kind of reinvigorated. I needed something to do,
Yeah.
so I started golfing a lot again.
And then
that's
we kind
fun.
of our friendship kind of sparked back up because you were back in.
Well, yeah, because we obviously like, which I guess gets back to like you played baseball in high school, played baseball in college, and we were in different towns
Yeah.
in the southeast, so we saw each other during breaks and stuff, but nothing big.
Yeah.
But
And then
like,
when you finally came back, then it was like, hey, I see you're going golfing. Like we should go golf. And then we golfed, and it was like, oh, that was a good time. We should do it more. And that's kind of how it
and now our
picked
wallets
back
hit
up.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess for me, getting into golf, I always wanted to play golf, but I didn't have clubs. And so that kind of put a damper on things. But
that'll do it.
yeah, so I just never had clubs. My dad's not a golfer, mom's not a golfer. So I would always use my friends' clubs, I guess, whenever
A mooch.
yeah.
Love 'em.
Whenever we would go places and stuff like that, but I had only gone to Top Golf and stuff like that, maybe the driving range every once in a while, but nothing crazy. And then in college, I played a couple times, and a couple of my buddies were big golfers, and so we would get out there on the course and play. And then I got a job after college at a golf course working in the pro shop, and I was able to get clubs, and that's kind of when I started playing a bunch and just fell in love with it. and that's basically my personality now.
That's
But
all I do.
yeah, I just I love the game. I love everything about it. It's funny because I used to hate it. I used to think people that play golf were weird or like
Like in high school.
yeah, like I just
At me next time.
I just never understood it. I never understood why people were so obsessed with it. And so you know, I just didn't get into it, but as soon as I started playing, I definitely fell in love with it, and it's been a fun ride ever since.
Yeah, which I think like gets into like I'm trying to think. You know, we both have been recently like chunking out some money on new golf clubs and stuff. But like I remember like when I used like hand-me-down clubs for a bit for like a
Yeah.
year or so, and then I like got a set. Gradually like I had to I got a set of irons, but I still had to use the hand-me-down driver for 6 months. I got a driver,
Yeah.
then hand-me-down putter for 6 more months. And you eventually build kind of at least like a decent set over like a 2-year span. But
Yeah.
then I pretty much use those clubs. I've had a couple different drivers. But putter and irons, I had the same putter and irons till like less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And then I got like the stealth irons, and I was like, just ball out,
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like the freaking Vokies and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
now it's I feel like I gotta be careful because every time a new golf club comes out, I want to
Yeah.
sell my old ones and get the new one. Like the Paradigm's about to come out from
Yeah.
Callaway. I want to get that
Yeah.
driver so bad. And
Well,
I
the
literally
Stealth 2, like I love the Stealth 2. I want the Stealth 2 driver because the Stealth 1.
yeah, but
had
you
its, like,
but you don't have a newer driver though.
That's
like,
true. Yeah, you do have a
Like
new,
I have the Maverick, which is
2 years old?
2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
And I just got the Maverick, so like I was
Yeah,
playing
true.
with the Epic, which was, older
Older,
than the
yeah.
Maverick, and I picked up the Maverick. I traded in my Epic and picked up the Maverick like middle of last year,
Yeah.
and so I've only been playing with it for, not that long, but so every time I see a commercial on Golf Channel, I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta go get those. But then you pull it up. And what's the prices look like?
Yeah, it's like $700 or something. Like, what is it? I think that Titleist driver is the most expensive. I think it's like $700 something
The
dollars.
Stealth?
No, the Titleist, the TS.
Oh, the TSR
Yeah, how much?
3
is
or
the
whatever.
Yeah, but it's like $700.
Jamie, look that up for us.
Yeah, Jamie, look that up. Titleist driver cost MSRP. Oh, the official site TSR3. Oh, there's a 4. There's a
I think they're only like, I don't know, like.
600 for the
Yeah.
TSR3. That's not bad. I mean,
But the
for a
thing is
driver.
once you start customizing it and getting different shafts
Yeah, you
and
want
stuff
it
like that,
extended. You want a different grip.
yeah, then it gets into
$20 here, $30 there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Which is crazy because I'd buy this driver and I would hit it just as well, and then
Exactly.
it's pointless. But I
Yeah.
don't know. That's where you see these guys on tour that are getting like whoever it was that we posted that video on Instagram or shared it where the guy got new wedges 2 weeks ago, and so he is like so dialed in. I don't even know who that was.
That was Rom.
It was Rom. Okay.
Yeah, he's playing right
Like,
now.
yeah.
And he's got new wedges.
Yeah, he got new wedges 2 weeks ago, so he's like so dialed as a golfer that he has to consider that he's going to get more spin.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like to
Yeah.
think that like
He's like he was debating on not even hitting that club because of the spin
because
that he was
knows
going to
he's
get.
too much off of it. Like,
Yeah.
Which is interesting because this is the first time in my life I've had like dedicated wedges. Like I've always just had like the gap wedge and the sand wedge that came with my iron set. Like I had the
Yeah.
G15s and like those all came together. And so to see like
What
how
what
it
wedges
feel-
did you get?
I have the Vokies now.
Yeah, the SM
Yeah, that's
nines.
Yeah, I got the blackout ones. So good.
Yeah.
Beautiful. They're starting to wear, but of course not in the center like they should. They're wearing like from the grass and from my mishits on the toe and heel. But like to see.
So the center of the club face looks great.
Oh yeah, perfect. Still completely pristine. So, but to see like I actually get spin now. Like I've never had spin
Yeah.
in my life, which I guess is a little bit more like like we coach each other like on the course and stuff a lot about like hands forward, come down steep. Like we try to like kind of imagine the shot we want and what kind of swing it takes to get that.
Yeah.
But like we're not walking up there and going like, might be too much spin. Like
Yeah.
no, I'm just aiming to get it within like 15 feet of the hole. Like it's because I think like the miss
Just on the
percentage.
green somewhere. So I
Yeah,
can putt.
someone was talking about that like I saw that on Instagram too, where someone hit a professional hit a ball and it was like 6 or 8 feet away. I think it might have even been that. And someone was like, "Oh, all that talk just to like still hit it 8 feet away." And someone commented and was like, "Dude, like all you see are the top 10% of the top 1% of golfers' shots on TV. Like, you don't
Yeah.
see 90% of them playing. You see the top 10%
Yeah.
of what are the top 1% golfers in the world playing. And of course, you're only going to see the ones where from 150 yards they hit it 6 feet. You know,
Yeah.
like, you're only gonna see, so when they hit it 8-10 feet, you're like, this guy sucks. Like,
Well,
They-
what's
they
the
all do
average?
that, like-
the average tour player in their approach shots, it's like 12 feet, I think.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
I don't know. Jamie, can you look that up too?
Yeah, like I think if I'm 150 yards out, or like, you know, or even I'd have to be like that at the most. Like if I'm 150 yards out and I get it like reasonably on the green, unless it's a huge green, like I just get it on the green, I'm like, all right, 150
Yeah.
yards out, like on the
Okay,
green, you know,
I
like
can putt.
yeah, I can
and
putt because like
hopefully get this close.
yeah, and get it close, par out. Like
Yeah.
that's an amazing hole for me. Like, you know, so but to see like some, you know, when they do that and like, you know, like a par 5, like if I even get it to where I'm chipping for eagle, I'm like, holy crap, you know, like on a par 5, you know, for them, like, you know, most of the time, given it depends on the course and if they have to lay up, but you know, they're going for it every time. Like they're hitting,
Yeah.
you know, they're less than 200 yards into the green.
Well, that's something that we could talk about is the distance on tour players now.
Yeah.
I think John Rahm was talking about it the other day about how they are considering changing the courses to make them longer because they're mad that people are hitting it so long right now because the tour player is hitting it so long.
Yeah.
And he was saying that by them making the courses longer, backing up the tee boxes, moving the pins back, whatever, that all it's going to do is create tour players to have to play longer
Yeah.
because to be able to compete with the players that are already hitting it too far,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to have to learn how to train and hit it further. And he was talking about all kind of stuff like the difference in the technology now, the difference in the athletes now, you know,
Yeah.
that the golfer from, you know, 1960 compared to the golfer now are two completely different athletes, and the game is completely different. So I don't know. I kind of agree with Rahm saying that, you know, them extending the courses, like they backed up. What hole is it that they backed up at Augusta this year?
Oh, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about though.
But they backed it up. You know, I'm sure they're backing up. And you've seen like there's videos and stuff on Instagram of the, you know, the way the holes have changed over the years
yeah.
and stuff like that. I think that I think I have to agree with Rahm with the fact that them making the course longer is only going to make tour players play longer.
Yeah, because like I think that's what it like. You know, even if you add 20 yards to every hole, you know, or more, I guess 20. Yeah, like so even if you added 20 yards to every hole or 25, 30, whatever to make it a few hundred yards more, you're really just having them club up 1 or 2 clubs.
Yeah.
You know, like a 20-yard difference is 2-ish clubs.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that just means instead of him, you know, if they're, you know, normally 160 out, they're going to be 180 out.
Oh,
And they're
Jordan
just-
Spieth almost just made a
Yeah.
unreal putt. Sorry to
They're
interrupt.
just gonna, they're just going to hit a long iron instead of a mid iron. So
yeah.
and then you're not going to have as many of these cool shots where, you know, I want to see the cool shots where a dude is like mid distance out and nails it close to the pin.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to see. Like, I want to see, we don't have that many Eagles on tour. So until people are, you know, like, I think it's fine to be, you know, like the end of the second round, Scheffler's 10 under. Like, I mean, that's the leader. So the
Yeah.
leader has had 2 rounds of roughly 5 under. I mean, he was 64 today, but like, you know, that's
he
fine.
played
To
unreal
play
today.
5 under on a course that's like, you know, at the top of the game, like, because then when you do that, you also, it trickles down. So, you know, that means that, like, I remember when I was in high school, they want us to play like close to 7,000 yards, and that's like so far. But, you know, it trickles down. So it's like, okay, well, you know, the pros, it's like if you changed football fields, you know, like you have to make it slightly easier. So like NFL, you know, they have to put 2 feet down. College, they have to have 1 feet down for football.
Yeah.
You know, so they've had to kind of make it steadily, you know, you're slightly easier, but as soon as you ramp up, if NFL, you know, let's just see something crazy, like, you know, you'd have 3 points of contact or something
Yeah.
weird. Then college would go to 2. Then high school would go, you know, everything has to step up to like get people prepared for that. So if you make the course longer, it's going to be longer everywhere because every course is going to be like, well, we want to be, you know, the standard, you know, we
Yeah,
want to be, you know,
something
in the city
competitive.
of whatever, we want to be the one that has, you know, the 7,000 plus yard course. And it's like, shoot.
Yeah. Did you see the picture of Tiger's new course that he's making?
Yeah, over 7,000 yards.
8,000.
It's 8,000?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it has like
It's-
a 750 yard par 5.
It's over 8,000 yards.
Yeah.
And he was saying how he wanted to make it for every for every player And I'm
Yeah,
like,
no
how is
chance,
any
dude.
player?
Yeah, it
like-
needs to be a par 82. Like,
Yeah,
there's
like
no way.
it's ridiculous.
Let me see Tiger new course layout. Yeah, it had like a 250-yard par 3.
Yeah,
So basically, he wants like pros would hit like a 5 wood probably or something. Or
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't like my 3 wood won't go 250.
yeah,
So like I would have to hit 3 wood and I'd be chipping.
Yeah.
You know, like let's see Tiger's new course layout. Let's see reveals plans for new 8,000-yard course in Utah, which includes a 700-yard par 5 and nearly 300-yard par 3. Yes, that's 3 wood for me on a par 3.
yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, it would be fun to play.
And it's par 72 layout. Like
All those courses that
And-
Tiger has designed are super long.
every par 5 is over 600 yards. So basically, you're saying like,
There's
just
not a
say
hole in Savannah, Georgia, that is over
7.
500.
You're saying par 5s. Yeah. I don't think there's not any like we go to courses and like we try to shoot for like high 6,000s in yardage normally.
Yeah,
Like, we try to hit at least like unless we're just tinkering around, like we try to hit at least like 6,500, 6,600 yards,
yeah,
anywhere between that and 7,000 to determine what tees we want to play. Although you hit further than me, so you really need to be. We talked about this today. He's going to start playing 1 tee further than me because it's not very fair. It's that baseball thing.
That's why Jim is the number one in my life.
Yeah. Beer is the number 1 in mine. So that's, yeah, but who has more fun? That's what matters.
There we go.
So now they're talking. So Park City, Utah,
Yeah,
sits 7,000 feet above sea level, so the holes don't play that long.
yeah, but still, you still have to hit it 700
Oh,
yards.
plus there's a par 3 that's 150 yards. So it's like that just goes to show that like half the holes are going to be crazy long, but the other half are very like birdieable. Like 150-yard par 3 is pretty birdieable, like even for us.
Yeah,
Like he said there's a few par 4s that play less than 400 yards from the tips.
yeah,
So like if you're playing from the tips of 400, that's easy. Like that leaves you like on a good drive 100 yards in. For
Yeah.
us. I mean, again, I'm typing us, but here's the scorecard. Hole 1, 660-yard par 5.
Oh, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome to the show. That means I hit a good drive, like I smoke it, and I still would have to hit driver again. I'd have to tee it up in the fairway. And still not get there again, and still have to pull out like a freaking wedge. And
I'm
like,
sure
hit a
Tiger
full
would
swing
love
wedge.
watching you tee it up in the fairway
Yeah,
after your
like
first
it's the only way to
shot.
make it fair. That's my mulligan, is being able to use tees for my second shots. Hole 2 is a 500-yard-ish par 4, but then hole 3 he gives you a break, 150-yard par 3. Fourth hole, 520-yard par 4. Oh, 520 yards, dude.
Par 4.
Par 4. Like that would be like if you didn't smoke your drive, you're pulling out 3 wood again to go for
There's
the green.
literally
if you wanna
there's
go
not
for
a
the green.
par 5. Well, I guess how far is hole 7
Those
at
are like
Savannah
par
Harbor?
5s here. Like a 500-yard hole is a par 5. Like,
Yeah.
Around here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 702-yard. That's the 10th hole. So your first hole and your 10th hole are the longest on the course.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
He's a monster.
I think it would be fun to play, but I
Uh,
definitely wouldn't.
there's
have to-
no way. It'll be so exclusive. There's no
Yeah.
way. Like it'll be I'm for
No,
sure a
no,
private
that-
club.
It talks about he wants to.
He wants to make it where everyone can play it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, he wants everyone to be able to play it.
We'll see.
I don't know. What else should we talk about here?
I don't know. My back problems and how I want to get this mic to like lean over to the sofa for me. I don't even know if I'm in frame anymore.
Scoliosis.
Ooh, ding ding ding. Oh,
You're stretching out that
Oh.
freaking
the springs are
the spring.
hanging on for dear life.
Testing it out today.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
It has been a long day.
Yeah,
We've
we
done
didn't
a-
get to golf because the weather's terrible.
Yeah. Rainy day in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
How long have we been at this episode?
It's got to be like probably 25 minutes.
Check the camera. Oh God, if you pause it, I swear.
It hasn't been recording. It hasn't been recording.
Dude.
I pressed record.
Dude.
Well, it wouldn't be
Get up
recording.
and check it.
No.